Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Renwick Field for today's Liberty League lacrosse game between the Vassar Brewers and your RPI Engineers. Today's starting lineups, first for Vassar. A senior attack, number 3, Leanne Baldwin. On defense, a senior, number 4, Evie Tolland. Senior midfielder, number 6, Enya Cunningham. In the midfield, a freshman, number 10, Hannah Cho. Sophomore midfielder, number 12, Sydney Spattinger. A senior defender, number 13, Jacqueline Palma. On defense, a junior, number 14, Paige Abramowitz. Junior forward, number 15, Kim Mulhill. On attack, a freshman, number 16, Storm Siddalow. Sophomore attack, number 17, Brittany Botticelli. On attack, a sophomore, number 20, Julia Trudell. In goal for the Brewers, a senior, number 1, Katie Pula. Starters for RPI. A junior midfielder, number 1, Sarah Bischoff. In the midfield, a graduate student, number 2, Meg Kolitz. Freshman attack, number 3, Allison Claroni. On defense, a junior, number 4, Maeve Conway. A junior defender, number 8, Michaela Dean. In the midfield, a senior, number 11, Jamie Wakefield. Senior midfielder, number 13, Erin Riley. On attack, a junior, number 16, Mackenzie O'Neill. Senior defender, number 18, Lydia Walter. In the midfield, a junior, number 20, Erin DeLuca. On attack, sophomore, number 23, Sophie Hager. In goal for the Engineers, a senior, number 35, Erin Amarello. RPI is coached by Leslie Delano. She is assisted by Mackenzie Regal. Would you all please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. The NCAA, Liberty League, and RPI promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Additionally, public intoxication, the consumption, use, or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco products in all Rensselaer facilities or outdoor venues is strictly prohibited.
Okay, I'll start. Good afternoon, lacrosse fans, and welcome to Renwick Field for today's Liberty League game featuring the Vassar Brewers and the RPI Engineers. My name is Perilous Garris here, bringing you all the action on RPI TV. The Brewers come in 3-3 overall. They're 1-1 in the Liberty League, coming off of a 9-8 victory over William Smith last Saturday. Also falling to Union 11-9 in overtime. The Engineers know something about OT. They played 3 overtime sessions in their Liberty League opener last week. Saturday against Skidmore here at Renwick Field. Went all the way to about 43 seconds left in the third overtime. Sophie Hager picked up the goal. Their 7th of the year was the game winner. So RPI coming off a win. Previously falling down in Florida to Colby College 9-8. Colby was ranked number 5 at the time. There is Erin Riley, number 13 for RPI, looking to draw it up against Julia Trudell, sophomore from Newtown, Connecticut. As this game is just about underway here on RPI TV. Both games this weekend, also tomorrow's game against Bard will be available here through the free services of RPI TV. Opening draw picked up by the Brewers. Enya Cunningham, senior out of Strasburg, PA. And right away, some pressure from RPI. Loose ball picked up by Kolitz. It was forced free by the freshman Allison Claroni. And now the Engineers look to go on the attack. Centering pass out in front. That pass eludes everyone back out to the midfield. A turnover by Riley. And back come the Brewers. Hannah Cho, freshman from West Hartford, Connecticut, will bring the ball all the way down the field. Had a little bit of a miscommunication that time with Mulvihill. But now setting up on the attack is Vassar. Brewers playing without arguably 2 of their best players in Dara Davis and Isabel Goldstein. We'll see how they're able to cope. Goldstein's the leading scorer this season with 22 points there without her. So the top scorer on the field for Vassar is Julia Trudell. Here is Sidlow. Working away to the far side of the 8-meter arc. Pass across behind the cage. 0-0 here, RPI and Vassar, just about a minute and a half in. Second league game for RPI, the third for the Brewers. Engineers have played a very difficult schedule. All 3 losses coming to top 10 teams in the nation. There's a loose ball, defended well. DeLuca get whacked in the mask, but she's able to pick up the ground ball anyway. Brewers trying to slow down the RPI break with a pretty good ride. They move it all the way back to Amarillo. Erin Amarillo, the 2-time Liberty League goaltender or defensive player of the week, the goaltender for RPI and senior captain. Had the ball for a second there. Now here is Lydia Walter right down the middle for RPI. One of the team leaders in caused turnovers is Walter from her defensive spot. Finds the assist leader on the team. And Sophie Hager, great defensive play. Swiping it away was Jacqueline Palma. Picked the pocket, and now back come the Brewers on the break here. Open player on the wing. Shot turned away. I think that might have gone a piece of Amarillo or the other way around. Amarillo deflecting that shot from Cho wide of the target. Cho, who is in the starting lineup today, just making her 7th appearance. This is her first start for the freshman. She has just 1 goal on 7 shots so far this year. Amarillo with the ball. Up ahead to the junior captain, Sarah Bischoff. Bischoff out of Amherst, New York. Now Kolitz. Set the school points record last year was 66, not on quite that same pace this season. Partially due to the competition. Here's a shot off the crossbar from Riley. Loose ball. Claroni trying to pick it up, and now it's DeLuca, who eventually comes away with the ground ball. Engineers will try to sort themselves out here at the offensive end. Mackenzie O'Neill. And now Claroni. Around to the far side of the field. Claroni making her 4th start of the season, just her 6th appearance for the Engineers. Here's DeLuca. Now Kolitz, second on the team in scoring this year, 15 goals and 3 assists. The 15 goals are the most on the Engineers thus far. Now Mackenzie O'Neill, junior out of Duxbury, Massachusetts. She'll take a look around before dishing it off. Here's Sophie Hager, 18 assists already on the season for Hager. 12 shy of the school record. There's still a long way to go in this season. Mackenzie O'Neill back on it. So we are still scoreless here early on. Just over 4 minutes in. Kolitz for Hager. Hager finding the cutting Riley. Did a nice job to just avoid some stick checks there. Now a feed into the middle for DeLuca. It was a dangerous pass, and that one's going to be on Hager. Although they're going to whistle this one on the Engineers. It'll be Vassar ball looking to come out of their own end. It'll be in the pocket of Sydney Spattinger, sophomore from Shelton, Connecticut. And now we get a whistle here. Foul on Riley. Leanne Baldwin, senior from Simsbury, Connecticut, will restart for Vassar, who's wearing their white uniform today with maroon trim. RPI in their 3rd black unis with red and white trim. Brewers back on the attack here. They're averaging 11.2 goals per game, which is a pretty solid number. Engineers come in at just 9.67, but we mentioned the shot there coming from Sidlow, the freshman from Hopkinton, New Hampshire. And there's Amarillo. She had a solid week, including 15 saves, a season high in the 9-8 triple overtime win, including a couple of big stops in the extra session. Engineers had a couple yellow cards, one at the end of regulation and one in overtime. They had to kill off essentially 2-minute power plays at the end of the game in overtime. They were able to do that, and many thanks to Amarillo. Riley in some traffic here, dishes it off. Wakefield, no, she held on to it, faked me out. Riley for Dean, that's Michaela Dean. Her younger sister Laurel on the team as well. Now Kolitz. Kolitz for O'Neill. Hager quickly to Claroni. And now Jamie Wakefield. Wakefield had a couple goals last time out against Skidmore in the league opener. Quick ball movement for RPI. Around behind the net for DeLuca. Sophie Hager back on it. Leads the team with 25 points, 7 goals, 18 assists. Now a shot coming wide of the goal. Kolitz leap to get that one off. It's backed up by Vassar. They'll take over. Leanne Baldwin did the job there for Vassar. This game a little bit reminiscent of that game last week, as the Brewers look to break quickly. Here's Evie Toland, a senior now out of Nyack, New York. As the Brewers are successful on the clear. The first goal last Saturday in the RPI Skidmore game didn't come till 10:47 left in the first half. So we're a long way to go from that point. But nearly 20 minutes without a goal in this game, like I said, has that feel early on. Although Amarillo is the only of the 2 goaltenders who has been tested thus far. Shots early on are 2-2. The only 2 shots on goal for Vassar. Spinning away from a check is Botticelli. And now we get a whistle and a free position opportunity upcoming. So 21:48 left in the first half. Free position chance for Brittany Botticelli, sophomore from Comac, New York. She'll get a chance from the 8-meter arc here. Here's the shot, and she scores. 1-0 Vassar. On the free position, the goal for Botticelli is her 12th of the year. That leads the team. She came into play 3 for 5. As you get another look at the shot there, stuck it right past Amarillo. So now 4 for 6 from the 8-meter arc on free positions is Botticelli. As I mentioned, her 12th of the season makes it 1-0 Vassar. So the draw to open, or to come off that goal rather, picked up by Mulvihill. And we get a whistle as the foul committed by RPI junior Michaela Dean out of Southington, Connecticut. Vassar back on the attack here. Behind the net, Phoebe Hankins into the game off the bench. Leanne Baldwin. Over to Spaninger. And now Hankins. Botticelli. Trying to work around Dean. Fakes a shot, ran into Walter. She'll get turned right back around. Leanne Baldwin. Back to Botticelli, the goal scorer. And now Hankins, sophomore from all the way out in Belvedere, California. Storm Sidlow got knocked down by Riley. Riley not happy with the call. Believe this will come from the hanging 8, not a free position for Vassar. Pass inside, broken up by DeLuca. Loose ball, still loose. And it'll be over to the Engineers. Good break up that time by Erin DeLuca. As the Brewers are looking for the centering pass, DeLuca, the junior from East Lyme, Connecticut, made the play. And the ball is now in possession of Amarillo. Amarillo out of Griswold, Connecticut. Starting in goal for the second straight year for RPI. Before that, of course, it was Allie Arnold, who held that role for 3 seasons. Coming into play, Amarillo 3-3 as a starter in all 6 games, 9.72 goals against, 471 save percentage. Here is Jamie Wakefield trying to work it through the midfield. She was harassed there. Now the pass from Riley over O'Neill. That's a turnover and a failed clear for RPI here. Probably the nicest day we've had thus far. Shot and a goal down at the other end. A quick transition. It's Julia Trudell with the goal, her first of the game and 10th of the year. Nice catch and a great finish by Trudell. The pass was up high, and Trudell listed at 5'10", tallest player on the Brewers, along with backup goaltender Emily Chansey. She was able to stick it home over Amarillo. So the Engineers find themselves down 2-0. A situation really that they've found themselves here against Vassar the last 2 meetings. Last year they were behind in both games at the half before putting up big second halves in picking up wins. The Engineers outscored Vassar 5-1 in the regular season game down in Poughkeepsie last year to win 11-8, and then, 10-8, and then won 11-7 here in the Liberty League semifinals by an 11-7 score. Nine second-half goals for RPI and then 11-7 win. So RPI is used to coming back here against Vassar. Something you don't want to make a habit, however. Here's a free position try for DeLuca. Will she shoot? Low. Good. Stop there by Kate Pula out of Washington Township, New Jersey. The quick pass, maybe a little bit hasty. We're going to get a whistle and a foul on Hager. So Vassar will have it. Enya Cunningham trying to run away from the RPI ride, and now a whistle again, and Hager. No, she stepped out. Is that what they're going to call here? Looks like it. Hager will take over right along the near sideline, right in front of us here at Renwick Field. 2-0 Vassar leading, 17:34 left in the first half. Engineers were slow starters against Skidmore. And once again, find themselves down to start a game. Here's Claroni. Now Riley. Transferred from UMass here a couple seasons ago. Shot and a goal. Good finish by O'Neill. And the Engineers are on the board. Another look at it. Riley finds O'Neill cutting off a screen. Does a nice job to ward off the defense and get that shot away. 7th goal of the year for O'Neill. As you take another look at that one, Engineers on the board. Of course, the new rules in play last year, the goal scorer needs to drop their stick. Needs to be checked after each goal by the officials. Skidmore had actually had the game won in overtime in I believe, the second overtime last Saturday, but the wrong player or too many players dropped their stick. And it was determined that the goal did not count, and the Engineers were able to capitalize and pick up the 9-8 win. So you have to follow the certain protocol after a goal is scored. May seem odd to some, but that's how it goes. Draw control won by the Brewers once again. They've done a good job so far on the draw. And Molehill was interfered with there. So she has it back. Cunningham, cross-field pass, handled by Spaniger, and into the offensive end they go. Baldwin. Spaniger, shot and a goal. Unassisted tally for Sydney Spaniger. Her first of the game. And just her third of the season. Got away from Kolitz on that one and buried it. 3-1 Vassar here, 16:18 to go in the first half. Engineers who played such a solid defensive game against Skidmore. Not having a great start to this one, but still a long ways to go. We're not halfway through the first half. We're going to redo this draw over again. Riley and Toland to draw it up here once again. Rolling around here, trying to fight for it, and it will be awarded to RPI, I believe. Yeah, Mackenzie O'Neill with the ball. And now Kolitz. Behind the net. Centering pass out in front, nobody home. Jamie Wakefield over to pick it up. RPI down 2 goals once again at 3-1. As Wakefield handles for RPI, the senior out of Windsor, Connecticut. Back up to Kolitz. Hager for O'Neill. O'Neill around a bit of a screen. Low shot stopped there by Pula. So the Engineers, who shot high maybe a little bit too much against Skidmore, caused them to miss the net a few times, and were easy stops for the goaltender. Now have seemingly made a concerted effort to shoot low on Pula, but twice she's made saves now. Brewers with a restart here. We're over halfway through the first half. Vassar with a free position goal and 2 in the run of play. Have them on top by a couple. Botticelli. Now Baldwin gets a bit of a screen. Dishes it off to Spaninger. She's got a goal today, as does Botticelli. Around the net, Olivia O'Loughlin, freshman from Morristown, New Jersey, just into the game. Now a bit of a push, they're going to call it, on Kolitz. So Botticelli, we got another opportunity on a free position try. Already 1 for 1 today. 4 for 6 on the season. A little bit right of center. Shot. No, a pass. No attempt there. Over the net, O'Loughlin. Running to by Dean, who held their ground. Now back up top. Baldwin. Baldwin around DeLuca. Bounces a pass. Not sure that was the intent. To Spaninger. And now Botticelli. Botticelli lost it. And battling for it was Walter, and they're going to give this one back to Vassar. Trudell with it. She's got a goal already today. And now Spaninger. O'Loughlin. Near side for Baldwin. Engineers doing a better job defensively here. But Vassar being patient. There's a low pass through everybody. Turned it over. Pass came looking from the top of the arc. I'm not sure who it was intended for. But the Engineers will take over here. That was Spaninger who threw it away. Pass through the middle. Kolitz trying to corral a ground ball. Get some help from O'Neill. Or make it Maeve Conway, rather. Up ahead to Mackenzie O'Neill. And now on further for Claroni. Took her eye off it. She'll scoop it up. Claroni gets pushed here. She'll have a bit of an advantage when we restart. And a shot in front off the side of the net. Trying to battle for it behind the cage. Still loose. And finally coming away with it is Toland. Knocked out, and RPI will regain possession. That's good hustle by the Engineers, not giving up when they lost the ball. Forced it out of the stick of Toland. Now Hager. A whistle here. And I believe a timeout RPI. That's what it appears to be. We're going to go with that because that's what all I can tell from here. 11:48 left in the first half. 3-1, Vassar leading. Warmest day of the year thus far. As the Engineers try to sort out their offensive shortcomings here. Possession's been pretty even. Brewers have capitalized on the few chances that have come their way. As you take a look at the stats through here with about 12 minutes left in the first half. Shots 5-5. Ground balls are even as well, 3-3. All 5 of Vassar's shots have been on goal. That's really been the difference. Vassar 5 for 5 on the clear. The Engineers 4 for 5. Draw controls 3-2 RPI. Both teams have turned the ball over 7 times, and both teams have caused 4 turnovers. So just, I guess, putting shots on target has been the difference so far. There's a look at RPI head coach Leslie Delano. 3 straight Liberty League titles, 3 straight NCAA appearances, including a couple of wins 2 years ago. They made it all the way to the regional final before falling to Middlebury up in Middlebury, Vermont. Had a big win over Gettysburg up in that regional after winning a home game in the first round. The Engineers trying to make it a 4-peat, and if you thought 3 was hard, well, 4 obviously even tougher for this group. They lost some scoring and some leadership from last year's team. RPI with a lot of work to do here. They are 1-0 in the league. But of course, severely tested in that 3 OT win last Saturday against Skidmore, a team that they only beat by 1 goal last year, that being the Thoroughbreds. That was a 15-14 game up in Saratoga Springs. But after going 9-0 in the regular season and running right through the league tournament to win their 3rd street last year, you have to imagine that this will be probably one of the tougher tests since they won it the very first time. So this Vassar team, as I mentioned, playing without Dara Davis and their leading scorer, Isabel Goldstein. They're doing the job so far. 3-1 Vassar. Here's Kolitz. Now Riley for Wakefield. Claroni. Player fell down. That was marking O'Neill. She was able to recover. That was Botticelli. Here's Riley now. Looking to feed it in front for Hager. Skips right on through, but DeLuca made the play on the ground ball. Engineers will reset. Here's Kolitz. Graduate student is Kolitz from East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Now Hager out of Northport, New York. Went to Northport High School. Looks already to be severely threatening, as mentioned earlier, the single season assist record, which is 30. She has 18. Kolitz trying to work away in front. Takes a shot, turned away. Looked like Pula got a piece of that one. Riley calling out signals from behind the cage. Now O'Neill. DeLuca. And Claroni once more. Claroni from Reading, Mass. And now Hager. O'Neill again. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. 3-1 Vassar. Storming around a couple of screens was O'Neill. Didn't have much to work with, so found Kolitz. Kolitz fake a handoff. Played behind for Hager. Hager always looking for that cutter in the middle. Now she takes it upon herself, turns and shoots wide. It was a good opportunity, and she's going to draw a free position out of this one. Sophie Hager slow to get up, but it's going to be a free position try for RPI. And their sophomore attack, Sophie Hager. Hager so far this season is 0 for 6 from the free position. She will shoot here. That one up in the air. Did that get the crossbar? Turned away by the top of the stick of Pula. So 0 for 7 is Hager on free position tries. That one was a good save by Kate Pula, who's having a pretty solid game thus far. Hasn't been tested all that much. She comes into play with a 3-3 record. 9.86 goals against, 4.47 save percentage. Anytime you have a goals against under 10, you're doing pretty good. Obviously below that, you're in real good shape. And a save percentage around 450 I found to be pretty solid as well. Those are at least winning. You can win with numbers like that. Cunningham. Baldwin right down the middle. Mulvihill makes a nice move, takes a shot, saved by Amarillo. And they're going to whistle this one, I believe, on Mulvihill. Nope, it'll go on Conway, excuse me. So a free position chance here for Kim Mulvihill. Junior from Sudbury, Massachusetts. Mulvihill. Deflected wide of the cage. Mulvihill on the season 2 for 5 on free position, so now 2 for 6. Bonicelli. Around Conway. Sidlow. Oh, stepped around. Bischoff and scores right over the top, right under the crossbar. It's 4-1. There's a delayed whistle that was going to be called if she didn't finish it off. It's another unassisted goal for Vassar. As we take another look at the fourth Brewers tally. Bischoff got caught up a little bit. Good cutback move. You can see the bump there. Shot over the top by Sidlow. Storm Sidwell. Sidlow, the freshman, able to put it away. That's her 8th of the season. So the Engineers down 4-1 with 7.5 left in the first half. Engineers making a couple changes here. We see Morgan Doyle, the freshman from Syracuse, coming in, trying to spark something at the offensive end. So now a couple of freshmen on attack here with Doyle and Claroni, along with the midfielders. O'Neill and Kolitz. Draw control, one cleanly. DeLuca looked like she fell down right off the draw. Low pass near side, skips right on through. And a turnover here. We'll send the ball back to RPI. And Maeve Conway, solid defender for this RPI team in her 3rd season. Junior out of Del Mar, New York. Here's Wakefield using those long strides down the far side. Hands it off to DeLuca. Now Claroni, or make it Doyle rather. She just came in after that fourth Vassar goal. 6:52 left in the first half. Engineers could use a goal or two to head to halftime. Cutting into this deficit. Riley around the back of the net. Thought about throwing it out in front. Instead goes to Doyle. Doyle for Kolitz. Kolitz back around behind. Now Wakefield. Back for Claroni. Claroni a goal and an assist so far this year. Finds Colas. Well, she had a little bit of trouble handling it. She'll go right to the net front. Oh, almost went into the crease. Now back behind.
This is probably the third night game back in 6 months.
Now a shot. Nope, goes wide. And now back comes Vassar the other way. Back behind the goal, Brewers have it. And a good defensive play as Lydia Walter breaks it up. And now a turnover right out of their own end. Trying to break quickly are the Brewers. Walking in front, pass to the far side, maybe one too many passes. Loose ball, Conway breaks it up. And no, they're going to whistle her down. Brewers with the ball and the 4-1 lead. 4 minutes left in the first half. Bouncing ball on the far side, controlled by Trudell. Sidlow. Now Botticelli. Leanne Baldwin. Botticelli again. Trudell. Now Baldwin got turned around there by Dean. She'll kick it out to Spanager. Stripped away by Riley. Riley knocked it loose, got the ground ball. She's headed back the other way. Thought they might try to rush things and try to score on the break here, but they'll slow it down. Vassar has stymied the RPI attack in the half-field game, if you will, or the slowed-down possession game. RPI's offense Obviously just the one goal. They haven't had that many chances to begin with, shots on goal. Kate Poola's had to make a couple saves. That's been it. Here's Wakefield. Wakefield down low for Kolitz. Spinning Kolitz, got free, works her way in front. Low shot, she scores. Meg Kolitz with the goal. With 1:39 left in the first half. Another look at it. Kolitz using the net a little bit. Vassar, defender got around, but much like the goal that Trudell scored, just stepped right in front. And Cunningham was not able to hang there with Kolitz, picking up her 16th of the year, an unassisted goal, makes it 4-2. There's a wider shot, good spin move by Kolitz. Cunningham looked like she bit on a little bit of a pass fake. The left-hand pass fake from Kolitz went back to the right and then kind of laid out in front of the net to finish that one off. There's Kolitz. As I mentioned, 66 points last season, a new single-season scoring record. RPI falling to Fredonia in the second round of the NCAA tournament. They had a first-round bye, but still played at Fredonia last season. Now a draw control. Riley thought she had it. Now she does. Tried to run away without the ball. Now a pass handled by O'Neill, and RPI looks to go quickly here with a minute 28 left in the half. Back behind the net, now stepping out in front. Trying to lose her defender, as Kolitz did earlier. That time O'Neill cut off. She has the other RPI goal, does Mackenzie O'Neill. Kolitz scoring moments ago. Double team comes, high pass deflected wide of the goal. I'm not sure. Is they're going to call that a shot or not? I don't know. No? Turn it over to Vassar with 55.7 seconds left in the half. Brewers looking to clear here. Goaltender has it, Pula. We'll see how risky the Brewers want to be in the final minute. Pula might just sit on this one. We'll see. It's a 4-2 game now. You can see the clock ticking down. She'll throw the pass down the middle. It's not handled cleanly, but it is handled, and now Vassar with a chance to break right through the RPI press there. Oh, that pass off the mark. This one could run out. Race for the ball. It will be kept in. No. Out of bounds to RPI with 15.6 on the clock. It's going to take a dead-on sprint upfield from RPI to even get an opportunity here. Bischoff might just find Amarillo. She'll throw it to the back of the net. This should do it for the half, as the Engineers don't look to be in any hurry. Amarillo short for Conway. 3 seconds. Now Wakefield. She'll chuck it high in the air, and that will do it for the first half here from Renwick Field. Brewers with a solid opening 30 minutes. They lead RPI 4-2. And we will take a break here. It is 4-2 Brewers at the half. You're watching RPI Women's Lacrosse on RPI TV.
Last time she was napping. Yeah, I went over there and she was like knocked out in the car.
That's her.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no one knows.
Let's go now, BC!
Okay. All right. Am I on now? All right. Just about set for the start of the second half. RPI and Vassar. Draw coming up here. Aaron Riley out there for the Engineers up against Enya Cunningham, or make it Evie Toland rather, and it's going to be the Brewers who have it once more. Trudell. Draws have been pretty even. They were 4-4. That's as even as it gets in the first half. Vassar with the opening one here in the second. Hanicho. Bonicelli. Now Spadinger gets around Wakefield, walking in. Shot goes wide. Backed up by the Brewers. Storm side low. We'll restart for the Brewers. Now it's Cho. Kicks it out for Spadinger. Bonicelli. Defended by Conway. Cho once more. Now Leanne Baldwin. Almost dropped it as she was defended by Bischoff. And now very aggressively defending is Walter, and she might get a card here. Yep. Lydia Walter is getting a yellow card. Contact to the head on side low. So the Engineers will be down a player for 2 minutes here. 28.5 on the clock in the second half, and a big, big spot in this game. Engineers already trailing. Botticelli trying to work it inside. Great pass, and they score. A man-up goal for Vassar. It's Julia Trudell, the sophomore from Newtown, Connecticut. Picks up her second of the game. And 11th of the season. Another look at it there. Over the head shot by Trudell. Brewers celebrate. It's 5-2. So back from the penalty chair is Walter after the goal is scored. $11 goals on the season for Julia Trudell, including a big one here to start the second half for Vassar. Good draw control, maybe. Oh, she lost it. DeLuca had it for a second. But the Brewers take over. Botticelli. Over to Leanne Baldwin. And now side low. Brittany Botticelli with it. She has a goal today. Her 12th. Baldwin. Now Cho. Very deliberate are the Brewers here with that lead. Engineers trying to break something up. That was Aaron Amarillo, the goaltender, out of the net to try and intercept a pass. Knocked it free, but the Brewers maintained possession. This one may run out on the Brewers. It does. Just an errant pass, and upset with herself is Seidlow. The freshman with the mistake there gives the ball back to RPI. Engineers have won 12 straight Liberty League games going back to 2013. They're being severely tested here by Vassar. Engineers also 19-3 in their last 22 league games here at Renwick Field. So a tough out for most teams. Here's a bouncing ball down the middle, given right away, and back comes Vassar with speed. Mulvihill into the middle, shooting over the top. But Vassar right back on the attack here. Botticelli calling out some orders here, trying to feed it inside. Good pass, although it was scooped up. Wasn't handled originally by Spottinger. Botticelli once more. Trying to work on O'Reilly. And O'Reilly's going to get whistled here. Looked like good defense to start, but turned into an infraction on the RPI senior midfielder. Here's Botticelli, now being watched by Michaela Dean. Feet in front, loose ball, and Dean has it. It was broken up, looked like by Walter. And Dean was able to scoop it up, finding Amarillo. Not quite must-score time for RPI, but they need to show signs that they're going to come back in this game. Haven't done a whole lot offensively. Vassar's ride has been very tough to break through as well. Over the top, and that's not handled. Engineers turn it over again. No, picked up by Doyle. Out of nowhere, Morgan Doyle came away with the ball, and now RPI looks to break quickly. Right in front, Wakefield scores. Right against the flow of play. And it's a 5-3 game here. The goal for Wakefield, we'll take another look at it. Just using her size and strength as Wakefield went right to the net. Was not going to be denied there of her 8th goal of the season. An unassisted tally makes it 5-3. RPI was really just having trouble getting out of their own end, and it looked like they were going to turn it over once more. But Morgan Doyle not going to get an assist on the play, but she made the play in the midfield, scooping up that loose ball. And Wakefield did the rest for her 8th of the season. RPI looking for more scoring from Wakefield, who had 30 goals last year. Here's a draw, straight up in the air. Swatted at by Riley. They'll say it was not legally played, and it will be given over to Evie Toland, senior for Vassar. Leanne Baldwin. Botticelli. And now Cho. They score out in front. And once again, it's Trudell using that height. So Vassar quickly answers back the other way. Cho with a good find in front and using that over-the-head shot. Julia Trudell with the tally. Her 2nd of the game. And makes it 6-3. Make it her 3rd of the game, excuse me. 3rd goal of the game for Trudell. And 12th of the year. And it's a 3-goal lead once more. That was Erin DeLuca for RPI. Engineers change up the draw control spot, and it was Wakefield that time. They did the same thing against Skidmore, and it kind of swung the momentum last time out. Loose ball broken up by Conway, and they're going to dig for this one. And it's scooped up by the Brewers. Botticelli, she's been all over the place today. Hands it back as the Brewers set up on the attack here. Whistle and a foul outside the 12-meter arc. Mulfill slips and falls, threw it back, and it'll be handled by Botticelli. Here's Cho for Vassar. 6-3, Brewers leading on the road here. Spadinger finding a lane, swiping at it was DeLuca, nearly got it. But it comes back out to Botticelli. Now Cho. She assisted on the most recent Vassar goal. A good feed inside for Trudell. Now a loose ball picked up by Conway. chucking it downfield, handled nicely. Looked like it might have handcuffed DeLuca. Now she wings it forward for Morgan. Morgan Doyle, that is, all the way down low for Wakefield. Walter in the attacking end now as the Engineers mix things up just a bit. Walter does have a few goals in her career, but she doesn't spend a whole lot of time at the offensive end. Being one of the better defenders in the Liberty League. Here's DeLuca. Double team, hands it off for Wakefield. Wakefield around for Kolitz. Dodges back behind the net. Kolitz on it. Couple of moves, spins inside, looking for the isolation shot over the top. That might have caught Doyle in the head. It looks like it did. Whistle here, and we're going to have a stoppage. They're going to talk about this, I think. Because the shot, if it goes out, is RPI's ball. I'm not sure if it deflects. Engineers keep it. Oh, they do. Morgan Doyle will reset here for the Engineers. Behind for Kolitz, or DeLuca rather. Now Kolitz. Claroni. Riley. Under 20 minutes to go in the second half. The Engineers down by 3. Here's Doyle once more. Feet inside. Great catch and a save, DeLuca. What a stop by Pula. Great play all around. It was a great catch and feed. DeLuca had to reach behind her to get the shot away, and Pula made the save. Riley, as the Engineers recover, inside. Doyle knocked down, lost the ball, and we're going to get a whistle here. Did Doyle draw a free position chance? Looks like it. Chance to fix her goggles. And, well, who's this on? That's the question. Looks like it might be on Doyle. By the way things are set up here. Yes, it is. So the Brewers are headed back the other way. And that one mishandled by Botticelli. She'll try to scoop it up. Trying to get position there was O'Neill. And a whistle and a ball back to RPI. So a failed clear for Vassar. Tolan doesn't agree or understand. Now we're ready to go. Throw near side. Here's Wakefield. Now Hager, who sat on the bench for a little bit of that first half, she's back out there now. We could use another assist from her. Engineers find themselves down 3 here. 17:48 on the clock here, second half. Hager sets up behind the net, finding Kolitz. Kolitz for Wakefield. Back behind the net. Here's Riley looking for a feed in front. Wakefield back up top with it, and now Claroni. Claroni with a high pass. Hager in front looking for Wakefield. It's the right idea. Wakefield just out of her reach, and now back comes Botticelli. Hager turns the ball over quite a bit, and you can, it's just one of those things that comes with making a lot of passes in narrow spaces. That time it didn't pay off. You can see why. That pass just off the mark for Wakefield, who would have had a clear chance at goal. She was able to catch that pass, but as is the case, it's back out the other way. One of those risk-reward plays that the Engineers have had go their way a number of times this year. Now Cho trying to drive to the net, goes behind the cage. Now feeding it out in front. Shot, and they score. Amarillo took a little bit of a risk there. Brewers tally at 7-3. Botticelli with the tally. I beg your pardon, no. That was number 18. Amelia Riviera, a freshman from Huntington Station, New York, with the goal. That's her first time into the game. And that is her third goal of the season for Rivor. We'll have a timeout here. I believe this is RPI's second timeout of the game. Yes. 16:20 on the clock. Engineers are in danger of their first league loss since 2013. They don't turn things around here. RPI's last home Liberty League defeat came, back on April 13th. The last home league defeat came on April 13th, 2012. A 10-9 loss to Union here at Renwick Field. So we'll draw it up from midfield. RPI with a lot of work to do. RPI fans trying to get behind their squad here. Wakefield back on the draw for the Engineers up against Toland. Very meticulous process here. You can look at the draw. It's spun straight up in the air. Wakefield right off the draw wins it for RPI. She'll head straight down with it. Quickly ahead for Kolitz. Engineers could use a quick strike in front. Moving in front. Shot over the top. DeLuca not happy. And they're going to give this to Vassar. They'll say the goaltender was the last one behind the ball. RPI doesn't back it up. No. Yep. Pula with it for Vassar. Shots in this one are 13 apiece. Pula's made 4 saves for the Brewers. Amarillo just 3 stops at the other end. Nearly picked, it was, and Wakefield would have been off to the races. She was tripped up. Somewhat inadvertently, it looked like. Both players in the collision looked to be okay. It was Sydney Spattinger for Vassar. Looked like she got her legs tangled up there a bit. Here's the pick by Wakefield. Another look at it. Coming out of your screen, yeah, they just kind of collided. Wakefield back on the move. She looks pretty determined here. She was pretty fired up after she scored earlier. DeLuca for Riley. And we get a whistle here. And potentially illegal defense. We'll see. RPI is going to get a free position out of this. Erin Riley to the 8-meter arc for the Engineers. Riley third on the team in scoring. She's 3 for 6 so far from the arc this season. She fires and scores inside the left post and below the crossbar. And it's a 7-4 game. The goal for Riley is her 14th of the season. That is second on the club. She's now, of course, 4 for 7 on free positions. Here's another look at the Riley goal. Firing high, just under the crossbar. There she went. Top left corner for Riley, her first of the game. And the Engineers are back to within 3. 14:54 left in the second half. Do they have a comeback in them? If they can score another goal or 2, they can put the memories of last season back in this Brewers squad. And the Engineers came back on 2 occasions, including in the Liberty League title game, or excuse me, semifinals. Ground ball, Riley had it, whistles, Engineers are going to keep it. So you look back to that game last year in the league tournament, an 11-7 RPI victory. Engineers were down 3-2 at halftime, then outscored Vassar 9-4 in the second. Now they turn it over. But it was all the same players for RPI last season. In that game, Kolitz had 3 goals. Wakefield had 2, Riley had 2. So it's the same group. The only scoring missing from RPI from last season, Marissa Page had a goal. And Rachel Schofield had a couple assists in that one. All the scoring is back from that game, including a couple goals from Mackenzie O'Neill, 1 from Erin DeLuca. But it is Vassar back on the attack here, leading by 3, and they'll look to run a little bit of clock here and try to get a high percentage scoring chance after that. Spattinger. Remember, there is no shot clock in women's lacrosse. The Engineers will have to put pressure on to try and knock it free. There's Walter trying to do the job, and a little bit too physical from Walter. That's the kind of whistle you can give away defensively when you're 30 to 35 yards away from your own goal. Clock has stopped with 13:14 left. Walter getting sent back. She was assessed a yellow card in the first half, and the Brewers capitalized. Mulvihill behind for the most recent goal scorer, Rivor. Now Cho. Kicking it out, Botticelli. She's double teamed. We're going to see more of that from the Engineers, trying to force something out of this Vassar team. Leanne Baldwin. Down low for Sidlow. Seidler tried to cut it out in front. She gets double teamed. Baldwin now with Bischoff coming over to help. Very strenuous on the defense here. Engineers continue to throw double teams at the ball, trying to force a bad pass. Here's Cho, watched by Walter. Up top for Baldwin. Baldwin dodging away from Wakefield. All the way up top, and errant pass out to center. Engineers trying to get on it. It's Riley who has it, and she'll run away from the pack. Riley on the move. Down the middle, dishes it off. Walking in front, shot, and a goal. Engineers are within 7-5. It's the sophomore transfer Chelsea Brennan from New York City who picks up the goal. Brennan just into the game. And she scores here, her first as an Engineer. Terrific job on the break by Riley. And I think that got a piece of something on the way through, either the defender in front or the goaltender Pula. It's now a 2-goal game. Big, big goal for RPI and a real good defensive stand. The question remains, will the Engineers need to spend too much energy trying to win the ball back to be able to score a couple more? Still 12 minutes left in this one. Draw controls become ever so important. They're currently 7-6 in favor of RPI in that department, so it's been real tight all day. RPI back within 2 goals for the first time since halftime, and now another draw control for Vassar. Toland near side for Baldwin. Again, more chasing for the Engineers. They got their last goal off the rush. And you have to imagine that's where the next few are going to come from if they're going to get them, with the Brewers set up in the offensive end. RPI benefiting from a poor pass out to the top of the arc. It went all the way out in midfield. And Aaron Riley was able to set up Brennan for the goal. Now Cho walking out in front. Low shot and she scores. Big, big goal for Hannah Cho to stop the RPI run. Cho had a step on Walter, walked it out in front and shot low past Amarillo. Goal for Cho is her second of the season. It's an 8-3 game. Or 8-5. Excuse me. DC coming up. Wakefield in there once again for RPI. Straight up in the air, and she wins it. Jamie Wakefield on the move. Jamie Wakefield to the top of the 8. Trying to dish it off. Finds Kolitz. She'll slow it down just a hair. Hager. She's been quiet so far today. RPI's top point getter today is Erin Riley. She's Brennan. Now O'Neill. Sophie Hager in the middle. Nice catch. DeLuca shot goes wide. Backed up by Brennan. She'll scoop it up, in fact. Feeding it in front. It was broken up. Right back to Brennan. She was trying to find Riley, who was cutting in front of the net. Hager now will track down a rolling ball in the offensive end. 2/3 of the way through the second half. RPI down 3. Mackenzie O'Neill cutting in front. Lost one defender by Brennan. She lost it on the handles, and it was knocked away illegally. Free position coming up for Chelsea Brennan. Brennan's first free position opportunity. She's playing in just her second game of the year. Brennan walking in, firing, she scores! Chelsea Brennan again. And it's an 8-6 game. Her first free position opportunity of the year. She buries it inside the left post. Her first season as an Engineer. Another look at the rip there. Good shot from Brennan. RPI continues to knock on the door. Vassar, to their credit, did a great job of just answering RPI's advances in this game. So the Brewers will change up their draw player. Now it's Julia Trudell to match up with the taller Wakefield. Wakefield listed at 5'9", Trudell at 5'10", and it's Wakefield again with another draw, although she lost it on the handle, and Trudell picks it up. And then Trudell just fires it out of bounds. So Maeve Conway will restart for RPI. She'll dodge her way into the offensive end. Kolitz thought about handing it off, now does. Chelsea Brennan on it for the Engineers. She scored 2 in a row, pass behind the intended target, and back out come the Brewers. Brennan threw it behind DeLuca. And Vassar takes over. Now an own goal. My goodness. I have never seen that before. Enya Cunningham just threw it into her own net. Wow, Cunningham tried to dish it back. It went over the head of Pula. It's an own goal. I don't even know if there are own goals in women's lacrosse. I have not seen a play like that before. 8-7 now, as Vassar has expedited the RPI comeback. Right over Pula. An odd game, and now another draw control win for Wakefield. Engineers can smell blood here as Wakefield has it. 8:40 left. And one of the odder plays you'll see in women's lacrosse just moments ago, making it 8-7. There wasn't an Engineer around. Here's Hager. I guess do a Google search on it, I don't know. Pass in front. DeLuca, great defense there. Will it pay off? Ball out of bounds to RPI. It looked like it was last touched by Baldwin. That's what they're going to rule here. But Baldwin did a real good job to pry it free from DeLuca. Just too many Engineers around, and I believe it was last touched by Baldwin. I think they got that call right. Now, here is Erin Riley. Pats the top of her head, calling out the play. Sophie Hager. Now Morgan Doyle. RPI was down 4 goals not long ago. They're now within 1. Wakefield. For Chelsea Brennan. She has 2 of those tallies. Here's Kolitz right to the front of the net. She scores! Meg Kolitz ties the game at 8. Her second of the game. And 17th of the season. A little bit of a pick there by Riley. It was real subtle. A good play. Riley right at the side there. Caused some confusion on the defensive switch, and it was Kolitz leaping in the air with an acrobatic goal. Seems like she always finds her way on the ground after she scores. It's 8-8 with 7:07 to go. We have ourselves a brand new ball game. Draw coming up here. It's been Jamie Wakefield taking over in this department for RPI recently. Draws overall are 10-7 RPI. Wakefield has 4 of the 10. Although this one will be awarded to Vassar here, so they'll go back on the attack in a tie game. This one hasn't been tied since the opening draw. Until now. Botticelli for Vassar. Now Cho. Behind the net. Taken away. Thrown dangerously back to Amarillo. Dean nearly handcuffed her goaltender with that pass, but now RPI has it. Claroni, low pass ahead, handled, and then contact to the mask. Wait a minute, we're going to stop the clock here. Looked like Bischoff got hit in the face mask. Engineers will keep it. I was a little bit confused by the referee's hand signals there, but we're squared away here. Wakefield with it again for RPI. Long pass, handled by Kolitz. Has a step. Kolitz driving to the net. She'll go behind for Hager. Sophie Hager with it. 8-8 game. 6 minutes to go in regulation. If you were following the game last Saturday, we were stuck on 8-8 for quite a long time. Kolitz. Dishing it off for Brennan. Engineers can afford to take their time now. There's a little bit of urgency when they're down 3, even 4 goals, of course, but in a tie game, they can be a little bit more particular with their shot selection. Here's Hager. Hager all the way around the net. She'll dump it off for DeLuca. In front has Kolitz. Kolitz spins away. Double team comes back behind the net. She'll dish it off once more. Erin Riley. Riley for Mackenzie O'Neill. Now Wakefield. 5 minutes to go. And Wakefield will back it out. RPI was down 7-3 here in the second half. They've worked their way back to a tie game. Erin Riley with it for the Engineers. A goal and 2 assists for Riley. Here is the leading scorer for RPI, Hager. Gets it back off of a bit of a drop there, but now finds Kolitz. Kolitz with 2, Brennan with 2. They're all out there now for RPI. Kolitz calling the play. Riley. All the way around the net, looking to feed in front. Knocked away. Loose ball, and it will be corralled by the Brewers. Riley was trying to find Hager in front. And the Brewers take over. Evie Toland for Vassar right down the sideline. And we get a whistle here, and a timeout's going to be called by the Brewers. Sticks down. We'll take a break. 3:41 left in regulation. It's 8-8 RPI and Vassar. You're watching RPI Women's Lacrosse on RPI TV. Can you cut me? Hey, folks, you can go ahead and visit rpitv.org/donate if you like the what you're seeing here today. Support the We Are Gold project, which aids RPI TV in their quest to bring you more quality and free productions of RPI athletics and all kinds of other RPI activities that go on throughout the year. Of course, if you watch RPI hockey, you know very well how much coverage goes on there. As well as RPI women's lacrosse, they've had their share of postseason Liberty League tournament games all on RPI TV. They've done a terrific job here as we're back to action here, 8-8 with 3.5 left in the second half. Engineers trying to finish off a comeback. Vassar trying to put one the other way. Here's Cho for the Brewers. Back up top. Baldwin. Cho once more. 3 goals for Julia Trudell. Hannah Cho, a goal and 2 assists. They lead the team with 3 points each today. Here's Baldwin. Spaninger over to the aforementioned Trudell. She's being watched by Maeve Conway, one of the 2 veteran defenders for RPI, her and Lydia Walter. Have known nothing but winning here for these Engineers. And solid defensive play. They've had some good goaltenders behind them as well. Allie Arnold and now Erin Amarillo. Here's Brittany Botticelli. Knocked free by Walter, trying to pry it away, but Botticelli stays on it and almost picked up by the hand there, but it was off the mark. And now here's Leanne Baldwin. Chucking it near side. Finding Amelia Revoyer. Revoyer once more. Gives it back to Baldwin. This Vassar squad, some veterans as well, including Baldwin and Evie Tolan and Enya Cunningham, all seniors. Now a chance to maybe try go in front there. No, they'll slow it back down. Back out to the freshman Rivor. And now Baldwin. Botticelli. Whistles once more, and we're having another timeout. So Vassar wants to talk about it here. Just 1:21 to go. As we will take one more break here before we give you the final 1:21 of regulation. It's RPI 8 and Vassar 8. You're watching RPI Women's Lacrosse on RPI TV. Vassar with the ball here, 1:21 to go. Engineers went 3 overtimes not a week ago in beating Skidmore 9-8. And this one's in danger of headed down that road. Here's Brittany Botticelli for Vassar. Back behind her own goal. Botticelli a goal and an assist so far today. Double team comes behind the net. She's just being shadowed a bit there by O'Neill. Botticelli all the way up top. As Spaniger has it, Vassar, in an ideal world, scores very late in this final minute now. 52 seconds left and does not allow any more time for another opportunity either way. How much time do you want to run off is the question. And can you maybe get another shot if you back up a play? All of those are options here. Revoyer, guarded by Brennan. It's freshman on sophomore there. Now behind the net, Show. Engineers try to knock it free. Show on it, right to the front of the net. Still double teamed, knocks out and picked up by Walter. Player down the field, but the Engineers want a break with 20 seconds. We have a whistle here. There's an Engineer who was knocked down on the play. It was Michaela Dean. Not sure where she got hit. Maybe we got the wind knocked out of her. Well, maybe not. Engineers will go back behind the goal with 14 seconds. And now here's Conway. Lost it. Picks it up with 10. Not sure if it's worth throwing upfield, but she does anyway with 6.4 seconds left in the regulation. So it's going to have to be quick here for Vassar. But still time to get a shot away into the middle of the field. Mulvihill spinning, shooting, save by Amarillo. And that one was needed. It would have counted if it went in, but Amarillo with a smile on her face makes the save. And we are headed to overtime. 8-8 after 60 minutes of play. We'll be back in just another quick second with the first overtime session, a non-sudden death overtime. You're watching RPI Women's Lacrosse on RPI TV. Headed to overtime here at Renwick Field, RPI and Vassar. Second overtime game of the season for the Brewers. They lost 11-9 to Union back on March 27th. That was last weekend. RPI knows overtime as well. They played in the longest game in school history last Saturday. 3 overtime games. Sophie Hager scoring with 44 seconds left in the third OT. For the 9-8 win, once again, we're tied at 8. RPI baseball with a doubleheader sweep today of Vassar College. They won by scores of 8-2 and 18-0. And RPI softball winning the first game of the day against Skidmore. 2-1, they're up 4-0 in the 5th. Here we have overtime lacrosse on RPI TV. I'd like to remind you, tomorrow's game against Bard also available here on RPI TV. 3 minutes on the clock. It's 2 3-minute halves of non-sudden death overtime. Just as many goals as can be put home. If we're still tied after 6 minutes, we'll play basically continuous 3-minute periods of overtime. They call them halves for 6-minute overtime periods. Call them what you want. Any goal will win it after that, assuming that the right protocol is taken for dropping the scoring stick, which didn't happen last week. Skidmore failed at that, and it cost them a victory. Draw coming up. Jamie Wakefield in there for the Engineers. Looking to pick up her 5th of the game. She has a team-high 4 draw controls. And the draw also important in overtime, and they have it. Engineers do. Wakefield as it spun off her stick, however, and it's picked up by Trudell. Trudell has a little bit of trouble, knocked away by Riley, and now they're going to get Riley on the stick check infraction. 2:46 left in the first half of our overtime. Here is Evie Tolan. Leanne Baldwin. Now for Spaninger. Botticelli. Making a move, walking in. Mulvihill spins it back out. Botticelli. Spaninger back to Botticelli. Watched by Walter. Vassar taking its time here. Minute 45 on the clock in the first half of our OT. We'll turn it right back around. Teams will change ends, and we'll do it again, regardless of the Brewers are able to score on this offensive possession. Botticelli down low. Some turnovers off draw controls have really kind of haunted RPI in this game. Now a failed attempt there. A shot and a goal. The Brewers have scored. It's Storm Seidlow with the goal with 1:16 left in the first half of our overtime. Failed assignment. What I meant to say there is Seidlow was not picked up. DeLuca looked like she passed off Sidewell, but there's nobody there. And she just walked right in and scored. The goal for Sidewell is her second of the game. Or Sidelow, rather. And ninth of the season. Sun continues to set to our left, creating some long shadows, and not a real easy sight for the goalie to our right. It'll only benefit the Engineers who are trying to score on Kate Pooler right now. But they'll need to win a draw control here. See some of the players shielding their eyes here from the sun. Draw control up. Knocked down and shielded nicely by the Brewers. That's Cunningham. Knocked away, but she's able to pick it back up again. Now she's double teamed. Playing it back. Paige Abramowitz hasn't seen a lot of the ball from her defensive spot today, but she handles that pass and works it up now with 48 seconds to go. Now, the Engineers don't have to try and steal this one away. They can go to the second half of OT, try to win a draw control and score that way. If this, of course, were the second half of OT, they'd have to be a lot more aggressive than they are right now. And Vassar will be happy to just run the clock out the final 30 seconds or so of this overtime session. Maybe steal a goal at the end and try and put this game away. Here's Baldwin. Baldwin right down the middle. Knocked away, and she's going to get a draw control? Yes, or excuse me, a free position. Just about what the Brewers were looking for here is Leanne Baldwin will head to the 8-meter arc and have an opportunity to put Vassar up 2 here. 14.9. Here's Baldwin shooting. She scores right over the top. It's a goal with 11.9 seconds to go. In our first OT, it's 10-8 Vassar. And the Engineers now look to maybe a second half of this OT, and they're going to need to be just about perfect. Great shot there off the free position. Goal for Lee and Baldwin. That's her first of the game. And just second of the season. She was 1 for 2 from the 8-meter arc coming into play today, and she was able to stick that one home. It's conceivable that a team can still score here. 12 seconds left in the half. It's going to have to be right away. You're going to need a clean draw control here. Straight up. Off of the head of Toland. Picked up by the Trudell. And now we're going to get a whistle with 4.5 seconds left. So she's going to need to chuck this one. Kind of a Hail Mary pass here. 3 seconds, 2. And not even going to risk it. Just step right to the sideline and roll the ball back out to midfield. So the Engineers, who were down, they're in a pretty big hole in the second half, down by 4. They're able to come back and tie, but Vassar here in overtime has made almost as insurmountable.
You got 3 OT instead of 2 OT somehow. It's 5. You got 5 on the board instead of 4.
Yeah, hold that down. There you go. 3.
Get that draw! Big draw! It's a big draw, Vassar!
Second half of overtime coming up right now. Draw control, and this is a must-win if you're RPI, because you have to go down and score. And it is Wakefield who wins it. Down the middle, Wakefield got run into, lost the ball, and they're going to call her for an offensive foul. That's a tough call. But the Engineers can't sit there and think about it. Riley trying to strip it free, and is picked up again by Wakefield. A much-needed forced turnover, failed clear. Engineers back the other way. 2.5 to go in our second overtime. Kolitz spinning. RPI needs one pretty quickly. Riley into the teeth of the defense. She'll spin it back out. Hager. She gets double teamed. Trying to deal with this Vassar zone, which has done a solid job all day. 10-8 Brewers. We're in the second half of OT. 2:12 left. Hager behind the net. Leaning on a defender. Hager now turns on the Jets, falls down, lost the ball, does find a teammate in Lydia Walter. And now Brennan behind for Riley. Riley trying to step it out in front. Low shot, save, rebound is going to be corralled and held on to. Good stop by Pula. Now she's pressured. She's going to try the far side. Force these defenders to handle the ball. Minute 35 left. RPI needs to force something here. Toland. Still Toland. Minute 20 to go. Right through the midfield. Lots of room for Baldwin. And now Jacqueline Palma. Coming up on a minute to go in overtime. The Engineers need to force a turnover. They're down by 2. Baldwin with it. Watched by Brennan. Mulvihill. Tiptoeing along back into the midfield. And a whistle and a foul on the Engineers. Vassar back into the midfield with 43 seconds. A whistle here and a foul on Riley.
No goalie, Vassar, no goalie!
As there's a whistle here and a timeout, maybe. Looks like it. Vassar's going to take a timeout with 36.1 left. Erin Amarillo was out of her net playing defense there. Trying to add another defender to the pressure. It had to be Vassar there, the ball. 36 seconds left. RPI, it appears, will suffer its first home league loss in 3 seasons. As the Vassar Brewers show some resiliency. RPI fought its way back in the second half to tie the game at 8-8. But in overtime, some key free position wins, some caused turnovers, some forced turnovers in the Brewers' favor. And they look to be walking out of Troy with a win and a 2-1 league record. RPI went right through the season last year. Liberty League won all 9 games. Then beat Vassar here in the league semifinals, winning in the championship game and winning their 3rd straight league title. The 2 previous years, the RPI went 8-1 in the league in each of those seasons. It will take basically a miracle here. Vassar has the ball along the sideline, out of the timeout. Here's the restart. Engineers swarming to the ball, trying to knock it free. All the way around to the near side. Amarillo out of her net playing defense. Vassar just trying to run things out. 15 seconds to go. It's Jacqueline Palma who's basically running all over the place. Now she'll roll into the net for the 11th goal. It's a goal for Palma. Not much anyone can do about it. Jamie Wakefield tried to get in the way. First goal of the game for Palma. It's also her first of the year for the defender. Really just the icing on the cake there. The Engineers had to do that. It's like pulling your goalie in a hockey game. Had to put pressure on and try to force the turnover. It didn't come. 8.1 seconds left in OT. Vassar's going to win this one. 11-8. Draw control, RPI, flung downfield, picked up Kolitz, 3 seconds, lost it. Loose ball, picked up by Evie Tolan. Tolan gets bumped on the way, and there it goes. The Brewers celebrate here. 11-8 in overtime is the Vassar win. A loss at home in the leagues. Many of these Engineers have not felt this before. With the victory, Vassar improves to 4-3 overall, 2-1 in the Liberty League. RPI drops to 3-4 overall. They're 1-1 in the league. For RPI TV and everyone here at Renwick Field, we'd like to thank you for watching today's game. Once again, your final score in OT was the Vassar Brewers 11 and the RPI Engineers 8. You've been watching live coverage of RPI Women's Lacrosse on RPI TV.